So I had the amazing opportunity to go and have lunch with some sisters of mine, which was absolutely amazing. And they were able to bring their medicine to me too. And of course, they're asking me how I'm doing. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, I know that this fall has been really beneficial to me, but it fucking, it's really hardcore. Um, so we were talking about where my pain is the most. And if you guys have ever heard of body mapping, where trauma is stored in the body and how it can make you sick, I want to show you what the psoas is. So this is the psoas muscles. As you can see, this is the upper body. Up here where the chest, the heart, the stomach, the lungs, all that stuff is, your head, your brain, all that, your spine. And the psoas comes in and attaches to the T12 and comes all the way down to and attaches to the femur, and then there's other parts of it that go all the way where you can feel it to your knees. So basically it's the bridge muscle attaching your upper body to your lower body. Now, is that not symbolic, right? The bridge. The lower half of your body, if you look at all the different teachings about the lower chakras, how your identity is formed in your root system, and then the bridge going up into your heart, coming from your heart and your head, how things are developed. And so right now, what is happening is I've always had issues in my psoas. I started being diagnosed with all kinds of stuff as a kid, spastic colon, having to go into the hospital, being debriefed by the medical team, asking me who was hurting me, that kind of stuff. And of course, having to keep that secret. And even when I shared, I wasn't protected. And so these muscles right here, I would have spastic colon. Even when my daughter was born, I think God was trying to share with me, look, you're having issues. You've stored a lot of stuff here. Things that have been spoken over you, things you were not allowed to say, things how your identity was shaped and formed by the people who were supposed to be protecting you. And instead, they're hurting you, harming you, and there's spells that are spoken over you. And then agreeing with them traps these verbal agreements and the emotional trauma in your psoas, which affects your back. And even after all the kids, I would be having a ton of pain in my stomach. And that's when I started getting on opiates and benzos and stuff. Literally, it was all the pain that had to do with this pain going around to my back, going all the way to my legs. I was having migraines all the time. This is the psoas area. And so recently, this has been my primal focus because of the fall. I have bruised ribs, bruised lung, but my psoas is the worst of all, which of course affects my lower back, my legs, my knees, going all the way down my body. And I don't even have the strength to muster any type of, unapologetic or apologetic anything. Today, we're all supporting one another and a song comes on and I just start weeping. And it's like, I can't even pretend anymore to be the strong Soha. I'm just exhausted. And I know it's because everything that's wrapped up in these muscles that are releasing right now based upon my identity is being unwound. And so it's letting go of the spells that I agreed with, because they are spells. When you speak over someone, you're casting a spell, especially if they agree with it. They come into agreement with a lie. Now it has power over them because they've agreed with it. And I agreed with so many things, even spells that I said over myself. And I understand why a little girl who's confused and going through the things she's going through would believe that everything was her fault and somehow she was worthless and a monster, because how could anybody do that to their child if their child didn't have a defect? These agreements, these stories, right? And so it got trapped in here. And so even with the movement, all this stuff is coming up, and being able to sit with this kind of pain, I have no choice but to let it go. And I'm doing a lot of crying. I'm doing a lot of raging. I'm doing a lot of stuff. And it doesn't matter. I've been vocal about it, and I've had some pretty cruel comments. You don't know anything, freak. And it's like, before, those kinds of spells would be able to destroy me. I mean, they never destroyed me, but they destroyed me inside. And now they just simply don't. It's just exhausting. Like, it's kind of funny, even. Like, you cannot tell me who I am. You simply can't. And so a part of this is not just that. I felt like when I fell, like something left me, like I left a piece of me at that lake. And we had had a really powerful prayer like 3 hours before about letting go of anything that didn't serve you anymore. And I felt like it was a push almost, although I was protected by God, and I landed on my drum. And I heard the voice and saw a figure out of a coach telling me to relax and roll. And I've seen now all the ways God was trying to show me, this is how you heal your body. You got to pay attention to your temple. You have all this stuff stored where you took in identities and believed everything that was either spoken over you, or in your confusion, you spoke it over yourself, coming into an agreement with a curse. And I used to remember saying, I feel like I'm cursed, one thing after another. Well, it was spells that people put on me and I put on myself, that I believe stored and trapped in these areas that form your identity, that I am now letting go of. And so there's a lot of grief coming up, because it's like, oh my goodness, I'm allowing that identity to die, an identity based in lies. And there's a part of me that I really love, that little girl that had to fight, that wanted to prove her worth. I love her so much. And she created who I am. But this is being let go of. That was not real. She is not who I am, and so I can let that identity go. And in the process of the detaching of the strings and the binds that wrapped itself in disease and in pain around my psoas area, preventing the true integration between the as above, so below, the integration between masculine and feminine, the integration between light and dark, right? To become a whole person. Everything that's stuck right here is coming up right now. And I'm getting to feel it. So I can finally forgive, give it forth, and set it free. For he who the sun sets free is free indeed. Understanding that this was never me. And it's, whew. A lot of grief, a lot of anger, a lot of pain. But I'm ready. Are you ready?